You've got rid of one tax today, but you're also bringing in at least two new taxes, and there's a tax increase. That's after promising no new taxes. Is it fair enough that people ask questions about your honesty when they see that?
Well, we've got another tax to go where we're going to abolish the mining tax.
But I'm asking you about the taxes that you're introducing, having told the public before the election that there would be no new taxes.
Well, I actually said, Sarah, before the election that there would be a paid parental leave scheme levy. Maybe you don't think that's a tax, but certainly I did promise a paid parental leave levy
but beyond
before the election.
Beyond that, Mr Abbott, you said there would be tax cuts without new taxes. What happened to that promise?
Well, exactly. I did say, in respect of the carbon tax repeal, that you would have tax cuts without a carbon tax, that you would keep the tax cuts without the tax. I said that, and that's exactly what's going to happen under this government.
But on a whole series of occasions when you said things like the only party that's going to increase taxes after the election is the Labor Party, no one's personal taxes will go up, these were broken promises.
Well, interestingly,
there is one fundamental message that we want to go out from this place to every nook and cranny of our country. There should be no new tax collection without an election.
what you'll get under us are tax cuts without new taxes. If we do win the election and we immediately say, we got it all wrong, we've now got to do all these different things, we will instantly be just as bad as the current government has been.
We'll do what we've said we will do.
But how can you do that when you don't really know the state of the books?
The fact is that the most important thing I can do for our country in coming months is to ensure that it is possible once more to have faith in your polity, to have faith in your government, and that means keeping commitments. I've been very careful about making too many commitments in this election campaign, Neil. They're modest, they're understandable, and above all else, they're achievable. And we can do what we have said we will do, regardless of the circumstances that we might find ourselves in 6 months or 12 months down the track.
Gee whiz, I wish the other mob had told us how bad the budget was.
So all your promises that you're announcing during this election campaign, they will be implemented in full? That's a rock-solid commitment?
I will do what I say we will do.
The reason I ask these questions is you're the person that made the election about trust. You said famously that the worst deficit is not the budget deficit, it's in fact the trust deficit. The election is about trust. You're the one that set the standard. Do you accept now that you were not able to keep to your own standard?
And plainly, Sarah, you obviously have a perspective which you are doing your best to prosecute.
With respect, Mr Abbott, it's not a perspective, it's a simple matter of language. You said one thing, you've done another. I think people have been waiting to hear you come clean and admit that that's what happened.
Well, I think people have been waiting for us to implement our policies. And today, a very important policy was implemented to scrap the carbon tax, and we are also stopping the boats, we're also getting the budget back under control, we're also building the roads of the 21st century. We are honouring our commitments, Sarah.
Certainly not just me, and it's not just the voters, it's also the Senate at the moment, Clive Palmer and the crossbench senators. They call them broken promises, and that's why they're trying to stop those measures in the Senate.
They're our political opponents, Sarah, so naturally they make those sort of claims. But I believe that this is a government which is keeping faith with the Australian people, that is, carefully and methodically delivering on the commitments that we made to the Australian people at the election.